Only weeks ago, royal watchers thought a corner had been turned. Prince Harry flew to London for the first time in more than a year, shared tea with King Charles at Clarence House, left saying his father was great. Courtiers quietly hoped for a slow, private rapprochement after 5 years of distance, and now that hope seems to have been jolted by Harry's public claim that men in grey suits are trying to sabotage his reconciliation and the response from the palace. Buckingham Palace hasn't issued, of course, a formal statement, but well-placed aides briefed newspapers today that the king is saddened and perplexed. A senior source told the Daily Telegraph, for example, that it was very sad, especially because everyone has been working hard behind the scenes to make the private relationship work. Officials believe that every detail of the 15-minute Clarence House tea, the framed photograph of Archie and Lilibet, the mood in the room, was intended to remain private. They suspect Harry's camp either briefed or allowed friends to brief the press, then blamed the palace for leaks. Palace voices call the sabotage claim counterproductive and say it has chilled the fragile progress being made. Importantly, aides underline that reconciliation does not mean a return to royal duty. One insider put it tartly, "Whoever is behind this seems to have mistaken a brief tea and a slice of cake for a Treaty of Versailles. The king is said to welcome private family healing, but will not reopen the door to a part-time royal role. The late Queen's formula, recollections may vary, has been quietly echoed. There is room for differing memories, but no room for public recrimination if trust is to rebuild." Meanwhile, the Prince of Wales has made his annual solo pilgrimage to Balmoral for quiet time with his father, and this is the third straight year William has set aside a few private days with the king. No staff, no public diary, just sovereign and heir talking. And the timing is striking, coming days after Harry's new broadside. It signals that the line of succession is firm and the king's centre of gravity remains with his elder son. William is said to be supportive of reconciliation in principle, but protective of the monarchy's boundaries. We can analyse this a little bit more. Each side blames the other for leaks. Without discretion, no private father-son rebuilding can survive. But there's this business about the institution versus the individual. Harry wants a relationship without the machine. The king insists the institution cannot be bypassed. And every briefing depends on who's done it. It deepens the narrative of palace intrigue, which may help Harry with the US base, but it hurts the quiet diplomacy needed here for peace. If the biblical prodigal son model, pater after idden care, esplag caniste, his father saw him far off and was moved with compassion in Luke 15:20, the welcome here is cooler than that, hedged by duty and press management, but it should aspire to that. The king seems genuinely open to seeing his younger son, but not at the cost of more leaks or constitutional confusion. William's quiet Balmoral visit underlines where stability lies. Reconciliation is not dead, but Harry's sabotage claim makes it harder, and the king's message, relayed through calm briefings rather than headlines, is clear if it comes from the king. Come home as family if you wish, but stop making private trust public theatre.